More practice with dividing with a decimal in the dividend. Let's do a couple of these together so you get the hang of it. Then you can go ahead and practice on your own. Let's rewrite on the graph paper off to the side here. We have a 4 as the divisor. We have 303 and 16 hundredths. That's the problem we want to work out. So we put our decimal right straight up into our quotient right away. We're going to remember our does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers. And then we're going to get started with the dividing. 4 into 30 goes in there 7 times, and 7 times 4 is 28. We multiply. Then we subtract. 30 minus 28 is 2. Check to make sure 2 is smaller than 4. Bring down that 3. And then we repeat the process. So 4 into 23, 5 times. And then we multiply. 4 times 5 is 20. We subtract 23 minus 20. We get 3. We check to make sure 3 is smaller than 4. We bring down that 1. And then we repeat the process. 4 goes into 30 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. We subtract to come up with 3. We check to make sure 3 is smaller than 4. We bring down our 6, and we say 4 into 36 9 times. 9 times 4 is 36. Subtract, and you end up with 0. So 75 and 79 hundredths is the correct answer. Let's try the next one. Rewrite it off to the side. We've got 6 as our divisor. For our dividend, we have 4,628 and 4 hundredths. Again, very important that we keep one number in each box so we can keep those decimals lined up like we need to. That decimal goes straight up into our quotient right away so we don't forget. And then we just get started with our division. 6 goes into 46 7 times, and 7 times 6 is 42. We subtract, and we get 4. 6 minus 2 is 4. We check to make sure 4 is smaller than 6. We bring down our 2, and then 6 goes into 42 7 times, and 7 times 6 is 42. We subtract and get 0. We check to make sure 0 is smaller than 6. We bring down that 8, and 6 goes into 8 one time. 1 times 6 is 6. We subtract, and 8 minus 6 is 2. Check to make sure 2 is smaller than 6. Bring down the 0. 6 goes into 20 3 times. 3 times 6 is 18. Subtract to get 2. Check to make sure it's smaller than 6. And our final number, bring down the 4. 6 goes into 24 4 times. 4 times 6 is 24. Subtract, and you end up with 0. The answer is 771 and 34 hundredths. Very important to line every number up. Very important to remember our decimal in the answer. And very important to know our multiplication facts. Otherwise, this takes us a really long time if we have to use a multiplication chart. Let's try one more here together. Let's rewrite. We've got 7 as our divisor. We've got 466 and 6 hundredths. We're going to put our decimal and our answer, our quotient, right away. And then we get to dividing. So 7, we'll rewrite this. Does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers? 7 into 46. It goes in there 6 times, and 6 times 7 is 42. Subtract, and you end up with 4. Bring down the 6, because that's smaller, we checked it. And 7 into 46 goes in there again 6 times. 7 times 6 is 42. Subtract, and you get 4. 4 is smaller than 7, so bring down that 0. 7 goes into 40 5 times. 5 times 7 is 35. Subtract, you end up with 5. Bring down the 6, and 7 goes into 56 8 times, and 8 times 7 is 56. Subtract, and you end up with 0. So our completed answer is 66 and 58 hundredths. All right, one more. Last time we practiced showing how fractions can be turned into decimals. We can use long division to prove that. I'm going to show you a fraction, 1/3, that turns into a repeating decimal. This is how we write a repeating decimal with a line over the 3. Let's use long division. Let's rewrite this, 1 divided by 3, and let's see what this looks like. The 1 is the dividend, and the 3 is the divisor, so it goes out like that. We can see 3 is bigger than 1, so we're going to have to add our decimal point and our 0. We put that decimal point straight up in our answer right away. And we know 3 can't go into 1, but it can go into 10 3 times. And then we multiply 3 times 3 and we get 9. We subtract, and 10 minus 9 is 1. Now in a decimal case, we have to keep going. We don't have a remainder. So we're going to keep working. We're going to have to add another 0 and bring it down. And 3 goes into 10 3 times. And 3 times 3 is 9. And then we subtract. And we get 1. And it's smaller than 3. But we're not done. So we have to bring down another 0. And 3 goes into 10 3 times. And 3 times 3 is 9. And we subtract, and we end up with 1. I'm starting to see a pattern here. Bring down another 0. 3 goes into 10 3 times. And 3 times 3 is 9. And then we subtract, and we get 1. We could keep doing this all day long. What we have encountered is a repeating decimal. 0.333333. And so we rewrite it, because we can't write 3's all day long. We rewrite it like this. So it's 0 and 3 repeating. That's the repeating symbol above the 3. We call this a repeating decimal. Some decimals we call terminating decimals. Like this one right here, it terminated, it ended. The repeating decimal goes on forever and ever. So sometimes in some of the fractions that we have to turn into decimals, we're going to see that they end up repeating. Once we realize that they end up repeating, we can stop in this case, and then we can put a line over the number that keeps repeating. All right, you guys go ahead and try these other division problems on your own for practice. Remember, the answers are right here. Do not look until you are shown all your work, and then you can check